What's going on, guys? Juve here, coming at you with a brand new video. I really do hope you guys enjoy your stay here. Now, today's video is going to be my Modern Warfare wish list. Now, I have a lot of things right here on my phone that I'm going to talk about that I want to happen. Hopefully they do happen. Some of the things you can actually already cross off because of the gunfight premiere that came out. I looked at the premiere and I kind of saw some things that I was kind of like, damn, that kind of takes some things off my list, but I still want to talk about them just so if there is any chance that they do still end up happening. The first thing I have on my list is the intervention. With Call of Duty, the intervention is probably one of the biggest staples in Call of Duty when it comes to trick shotting and sniping and just using a sniper in general. The intervention is definitely the most renowned sniper and it just needs to be in the game. It's a Modern Warfare game. It's going along in the series. It definitely needs to be in the game. The last time that it was remade was in Infinite Warfare, so that's definitely not a good look on the intervention, as most people definitely didn't like that game. So it would be way better if they did the intervention again in this Modern Warfare game where more people are definitely wanting to play this one. The next thing I have is Final Kill Cam. Now I think that this one is vital. I need Final Kill Cam. A lot of trick shotters need Final Kill Cam, and even a lot of snipers need Final Kill Cam. Me myself, I don't really like the best play feature. I feel like it's kind of stupid, especially since sometimes it doesn't even work. You'll get a 5-man multi, but someone that got a triple kill will get the best play. So I think that is not really needed, and I would just rather have a Final Kill Cam, especially if I hit a shot and then it's not even the kill cam. Nah, man, I don't really want that. The next thing I have is old Modern Warfare mechanics. Now this one is the one that you can basically kind of cross off of the list because after seeing the gunfight premiere, I can really say that it's definitely not going to be Modern Warfare of old type mechanics. It's definitely some new mechanics actually. It's more looking like Rainbow Six Siege and Battlefield, and honestly to me I'm not really digging it. I feel like I would definitely rather it be just some old reused Call of Duty movements. I don't like how realistic it's getting, but at the same time that's just the way that the game is moving and we're just gonna have to get used to it. I really do hope that the movement is better than what it looks like and it actually feels better when you're playing, but you never know until you actually get to play the game. But I definitely would have loved if it would have been Modern Warfare of old mechanics instead of this new realistic mechanic that really reminds you of Battlefield or Rainbow Six Siege or even CSGO. It's just not the norm. The next thing I have is definitely more specific to me and the area of Call of Duty that I'm in, and it's trick shotting maps. I definitely need maps that I'm going to be able to trick shot on and a different variety of maps. I definitely need maps that are just great for hitting a shot on, great for me wanting to play that map all the time when it comes up. I want to be able to have a lot of maps to snipe on. I want to be able to have a lot of maps to trick shot on. I want just a lot of maps that have good variety and I'm able to do a lot of things on when it comes to sniping and trick shotting. Staying on the map theme, I also want iconic map remakes like High Rise and Terminal. Now Terminal, it was remade in MW3 and Infinite Warfare, and I'm pretty sure High Rise was remade in Infinite Warfare as well, but I would definitely love to see it remade on a boots on the ground game, both of them actually, and I think that it would be really good for the community, especially the trick shotting community, to have these iconic maps come back. And you can even add in other maps, like you can have Sea Town or you can have Dome or any iconic map like that. It would be really cool to see them remade. Now the next thing I have is definitely more specific to me and not even trick shotters, just me as a whole. I definitely want survival mode to come back. I loved survival mode in MW3. It was really good. It was basically like zombies, but it was against other soldiers. There was waves of soldiers. You knew how many soldiers were coming in the wave. There were bosses like the Juggernaut, or they would send in planes and you had to shoot down the planes. It was really fun, and I think it would be really cool if they brought it back with better graphics. The next thing I have on my list is definitely trick shotter specific, and it's slides. Man, I love slides, and I think anyone who trick shots loves slides too. So I think in a Modern Warfare game, you just have to have slides, and that's really up to the creators because a slide is really just a coding error. So I really hope that they don't change that because I love slides, and it'll give us something to go for later on in the game when we feel like we've hit everything on the map, so that we can go kind of up and maybe even out of the map and into different spots and be able to hit shots. The next thing I have is no sniper nerfing. Now, Modern Warfare games are usually pretty good for not nerfing snipers. Black Ops games are really the games that usually nerf the snipers. They seem to have something against snipers. But Modern Warfare games, it seems to be good. They seem to not have anything against snipers. Most of the snipers are balanced and they do good damage, each one of them. So I think that I really don't have a problem with that. I just hope that it doesn't end up getting nerfed, because there's definitely a lot of pub stompers and stuff like that that don't like the idea of quick scoping and think it's a cheap way to play and think that it shouldn't be in the game and that we're exploiting it in some way. So hopefully the views of those people don't end up getting it changed. The next thing I have on my list is good DLCs. Now, this is a really big part of the game. There has to be good DLCs, because if there is, then the game will last longer and people will want to play it more. If you think about Black Ops 2, the DLCs on the game were really good, and that's why people played it for so long. They were able to go back on it because they didn't have to play the same maps over and over, because they can go to DLC maps. So hopefully they have good DLCs. Now, along with DLCs, I would love to see if they had the remade maps along in the DLCs, because then you can add remade maps and you can add new maps as a variety. But definitely don't have a DLC where it's only remade maps. There has to be at least 2 or 3 new maps in it, just to have a good variety, and so we aren't playing the same thing over and over again. The next thing I have on my list is theater mode. I would love to see a theater mode with kill cam. Theater mode definitely has to have kill cam. I would love to see a theater mode, because sometimes you're just not recording and you hit something, and using share play isn't really that good. The quality isn't really that good. It would be better to be able to go into theater mode and just record it from theater mode, because the quality most likely is going to be good, because it's still technically going to be straight from the game. So I think it would be really cool if we had theater mode back, but it has to have kill cam if we have it. The next thing I have is smooth cross-platform gameplay. Just because you have cross-platform doesn't mean that you get to have bad gameplay with the cross-platform. There has to be good, smooth cross-platform gameplay that everyone will be able to enjoy. When I play Fortnite, I'm able to play with people that play on Xbox, and it's really smooth and everything is fine, and I have a good ping and they have a good ping, and there isn't a lot of lag. So hopefully that same thing can happen when we play cross-platform or Modern Warfare. They have a lot of money, they can get good servers, and I know that if the servers are well, then it's gonna play well, and then it will be a good experience for everyone that's playing with someone on a different platform. Now, the next thing I have is bots and private match. For me, I love having bots in private match. I love being able to trick shot on a bot in private match. I love being able to get my shot on in private match, and maybe some other people do too. Even maybe pub stompers, maybe they want to get their shot on. Maybe they want to learn the game in private match before they go to public match, so they need bots in private match. They had them in Infinite Warfare, so hopefully they'll have them in this game too. Obviously, Infinite Warfare is completely different from what this game is going to be, but it would definitely be good if they took that part from Infinite Warfare. Nothing else though. The next thing I have is a large variety of cosmetic camos. Now, I am not a fan of microtransactions. I really don't like them, and I don't think that they're really needed. But I do like that there is a variety of camos you can get. I like how in MWR there were so many different camos that you can get for your guns, and it was just really cool to be able to have different camos than the standard camos. Now, I feel like with these camos, you should be able to do challenges to get them instead of having to do it the microtransaction way. But you can also have the microtransactions, so the people who just want to pay for it can pay for it. But there's also challenges that you can do instead of doing microtransactions, so you don't have to go that way. So then it pleases both sides. It pleases the people that are okay with microtransactions that would just rather pay to win, or it's people that would just rather grind to win and not pay when they know that they can just grind and get it. So either way, you still have people playing the game and you still have people getting these camos at the end of the day. That also brings me into weapon variations. I think the same thing, especially in Advanced Warfare. That was probably the best thing of that game. I didn't like the game, but I love that there was weapon variations. I love that there was the Morse silver bullet. I love that there was the Morse quick bolt. It was cool to have a gun that not only looked better, but it actually played better. There was better damage, there was less weapon sway, there were better accuracy. I think that's really cool, and I think they should add it back in this game. But again, they should have a way where you can either grind for it, or you can just get it the cosmetic way, and then it pleases both sides. Now, the last thing I have, and I think this is really vital to me and a lot of other snipers, is to have specific gun type game modes, like how Black Ops 4 has bolt action bare bones. I think it's really cool to be able to have the snipers in one game mode and the LMG users in one game mode and the AR users in one game mode and stuff like that. It just makes it cool because then you can find more people that do what you do. You can find people that have a different tactic with the same gun that you do, and I think that it would just help out people if they want to have a different type of play style, or if they just want to play with people that use the same guns as them, and then they don't have to complain about people who use other guns and the guns that they don't like, and then it just kind of balances it out because they can play against people who uses the same gun as them. But that's really it, guys. Man, Call of Duty is just in a weird spot right now, and you know, they have people buying the game and they always will, but right now people are just buying the game out of optimism and they aren't really too sure of what the game is going to hold. They need to have a game to have people put their faith back in the franchise again, and I think this game could definitely do that. Hopefully they take things from this list. I feel like if they do, then maybe the games will be better. You never know, man. I just hope that this game is good. I hope that I can play it for its full cycle, and I hope maybe I'll be able to even come back to this game. But that's really it, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new. This has been your boy Jerome Jeremy, and I'm out. Peace.